Your affirmations have been lying to you. Every morning you stand in front of the mirror, say the right words, and walk away wondering why nothing shifts. The disconnect has never been about what you're saying. By the end of this, you'll understand why the voice behind your words carries more creative power than the words themselves, and how to wield it. Think about the last time someone told you everything was fine. The words were perfect, but something in their tone made your stomach tighten. You knew, instantly, that nothing was fine. You didn't analyze the sentence. You didn't parse the grammar. Your body read the frequency underneath the language and responded to that. Your subconscious works the same way with your own voice. Every single time, when you repeat "I am wealthy" in a flat mechanical tone, or worse, in a voice laced with desperation, your subconscious registers the vibration beneath the statement, and that vibration says, "I don't have this yet. I'm trying to convince myself." The words point toward abundance. The frequency broadcasts lack. Guess which one your deeper mind believes? Neville Goddard spent decades teaching that the feeling is the secret. Most people interpreted feeling as emotion, happiness, excitement, gratitude. But Goddard meant something more specific. He meant the tonal quality of the inner experience, the sensation of naturalness. When you tell a friend your name, there's zero effort in it, zero performance. The statement carries absolute certainty because you aren't trying to believe it. You already inhabit it. That tonal signature, calm, settled, already done, is what your subconscious recognizes as truth. So how do you actually shift the tone when the old frequency keeps pulling you back? Start by listening. Most people have never paid attention to the sound of their own inner voice during affirmation. Close your eyes right now and say internally, "I am abundant." Listen to how it sounds inside your head. Is there a slight upward inflection, like a question? Is there strain, like you're pushing the words through resistance? Is the voice thin and high, or grounded and low? That sonic texture is your current broadcast frequency. Everything you're manifesting right now matches it. The Kybalion teaches that everything in the universe is vibration. Every thought, every mental state, every inner utterance carries a vibrational signature. Words are containers. Vibration is the content. You can pour anxiety into the container marked abundance and serve it to your subconscious all day long. Your deeper mind will taste the anxiety every time and spit the affirmation back. The container's label means nothing. The content is everything. Here's where the practice gets specific. When you speak an affirmation internally, slow it down. Drop the pitch of your inner voice by about 30%. Let each word arrive with weight, the way you'd speak if you were stating something so obvious it barely needed saying. "I am wealthy." The rhythm matters as much as the tone. Rushed affirmations signal urgency. Urgency signals absence. Slow, measured rhythm signals the kind of calm that only comes from already having the thing. Your subconscious can't distinguish between the calm of genuine possession and the calm you deliberately cultivate. Both register as the same frequency. A friend of yours gets a promotion. You call to congratulate them. Listen to your own voice in that moment. Warm, genuine, relaxed. There's no grasping in it because the good news belongs to someone else, so your ego has nothing at stake. That exact vocal quality is what your affirmations need. The warmth without the wanting. Now skeptics within the spiritual community might push back here. They'd say Goddard himself emphasized imagination and inner vision, that the mental image matters most. And they're right that the image carries power. But sit with this. Have you ever had a vivid mental image that felt hollow? A picture of your dream life that somehow made you feel further from it? The image was clear, the frequency was wrong. The visual and the vibrational were mismatched, and your subconscious followed the vibration. Every time, it follows the vibration. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this instinctively. Her spoken word treatments worked because she delivered them with a tone of absolute authority. She spoke as someone announcing what already existed, the way a judge reads a verdict. The verdict doesn't create the decision. The decision already happened in chambers. The announcement simply makes it known. Your affirmations, delivered in the right tone, function the same way, an announcement of what your deeper mind has already accepted. But acceptance requires repetition at the correct frequency. One session of perfectly toned affirmation won't overwrite years of anxious inner dialogue. The subconscious is like deep water. Surface ripples don't reach the bottom. You need sustained, consistent waves at the same frequency before the depths begin to move. This is where most people abandon the practice. They try the new tone for 3 days, feel a slight shift, then slip back into the old mechanical recitation because it's easier. The mechanical version requires less presence, less attention, and that's exactly why it produces less change. Your inner voice has habits just like your body does. You've been speaking to yourself in a particular tone for decades. That tone was shaped by every authority figure who ever corrected you, every failure you internalized, every moment you decided you weren't enough. The tone carries all of that history compressed into a single vibrational signature. When you try to affirm abundance in a voice shaped by scarcity, the words and the frequency cancel each other out. Static. Your subconscious receives noise and does nothing with it. So the real work, the work almost nobody talks about, is retraining the instrument itself. Your inner voice is an instrument, and right now, it's out of tune. Start with statements you already believe. I am breathing. Say it internally and notice the tone. Easy, settled, no resistance. The sky is above me, same quality. Grounded and obvious. Now, keeping that exact tonal signature, shift to something closer to your desire. Good things are flowing toward me. If the tone changes, if you feel the voice tighten or speed up, go back to the neutral statement. Recalibrate, try again. You're training your inner voice to carry desire with the same frequency it carries fact. This is the bridge between wanting and having. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without, applies directly here. The outer world corresponds to your inner broadcast. But inner broadcast was never about vocabulary. A person who thinks fearful thoughts in a confident tone will manifest differently than a person who thinks confident thoughts in a fearful tone. The tone wins. It always wins. Because tone is closer to the subconscious than language. Language is a recent development in human evolution. Tone is ancient. Your deeper mind has been reading tone for millions of years. Words, for maybe 100,000. The subconscious trusts the older signal. You've experienced this without realizing it. Remember a time when you felt genuinely certain about something. A decision that just felt right, and knowing that bypassed logic. Recall the quality of your inner voice in that moment. Quiet, steady, almost bored with its own certainty. That's the target frequency for every affirmation you'll ever speak. When you can say, I am living in my dream home, with the same flat certainty you'd say, I had coffee this morning, your subconscious will begin rearranging your outer world to match. The discipline here is subtle but demanding. You can't fake the tone while your body holds tension. Your jaw, your throat, your chest, they all participate in your inner voice's frequency. Before affirming, soften your jaw, drop your shoulders, let your breathing slow until your exhale is longer than your inhale. The body has to match the broadcast. A relaxed body and a confident inner tone create a coherent signal. Your subconscious responds to coherence the way a radio responds to a clear station. Suddenly, reception is perfect. There's a moment in this practice, usually a few weeks in, where something strange happens. You'll be going about your day and catch yourself thinking about your desire in that new tone. Without trying, the affirmation will arise on its own, carrying the frequency of certainty, and you'll realize the inner voice has been retrained. The instrument is playing the new note naturally. When this happens, your manifestations begin to accelerate. External shifts start appearing. Synchronicities multiply. Because your subconscious is finally receiving a clean, coherent signal and doing what it has always done, building the outer world to match the inner frequency. Every word you've ever spoken to yourself carried a tone. Every tone carried a frequency. Every frequency was an instruction to the deepest part of your mind. You've been giving instructions your entire life. The question was never whether your subconscious was listening. It was always listening. The question is whether you'll finally speak to it in a language it actually understands. And that language has never been made of words.